NBA X Zone. I am so excited to chat with Craig Wong. He is the chef and owner of Patois. Now, Craig, thank you so much for having us.
We're so happy to have you guys. Thank you for joining.
Okay, now I've got some questions.
Yeah.
I want to know your story. Tell me a bit more about your upbringing and how basketball was woven through it.
So I'm a kid that grew up in Scarborough, and all the coolest kids were playing ball in our middle school. And one of the memories that I have was that there was a 9-foot basketball net. So we were just a little bit closer to being able to get up there, and then it was mounted right against a brick wall. So we could kick off of that brick wall and almost dunk and hang on to the rim. So it just made it that much more interesting at recess and small pickup games, and that was memories that I have of growing up in Scarborough.
Now you are of Jamaican and Asian descent. How has the power of sport influenced your culture and your identity?
Growing up, everyone was surprised to hear about my Jamaican culture. My whole family goes back 3 generations to Jamaica to just see that there's players from everywhere in the NBA. Patrick Ewing, he's a Jamaican guy, and then Yao Ming,
Yes.
Chinese, big, huge, dominating guys. And to see how they are dominating in their fields, it's really empowering to see that as a youngster.
Now we're big on talking about community spaces. Now please tell me how Jun Plum has come to be, just their origin story.
Yeah, Jun Plum is located right beside Patois. So we actually created our own personal Jamaican patty shop. It's a place where people can come, spend time. We even have our friends Alex and Will, who are recording a podcast right upstairs with us as well too. We feature our favorite local artisans. We welcome people from outside. So you want to hold a book signing, you want to have an event space. This is something that we put forth not just for us, but it's for the entire community. The last thing I want to do is turn anyone away. If they want to have a smaller event, I want to have a space for that. There needs to be more spaces like this. And so to have that availability and to be able to put that into the community, that's what means a lot to us as a company.
Some of the original Raptors were here, so I want to hear all about that. What was that experience like?
I still remember when the Raptors first came to Toronto and the inaugural season, and what a big deal that was.
Yeah.
And to just see them in real life, it was a real enjoyable experience. Check off of that that bucket list. We've had a lot of people come through, and I got to meet a lot of the heroes that I really wanted to since I was a kid. And that saying, never meet your hero. Forget that stuff, I find that the people who are the people that we looked up to when we were young, you approach them with the right way, you approach them at the right time. Meet your heroes, meet your idols, but just do it in a respectful way and do it with fun, always as the approach.
We just got to get Vince out here. Hello.
Vince, you got a home right here, man.
We have to spotlight some of the incredible things you've done. I mean, catering meals for Raptors, Utah Jazz has passed through, Portland Trailblazers. Now, what goes behind designing a menu for these very tall, very hungry men?
Cooking for them was a real treat. There was a couple times that they would come inside for dinner, so we make sure that the table is always big enough to accommodate all the food.
The wingspan.
Exactly. Sometimes we would cook for them in their private jets as well too. Everybody overall is really looking for high protein diets. They're all looking for top-notch ingredients, utmost of quality, and more than anything, they're looking for something that they can't normally get. You're gonna get a taste of the islands, and you're gonna get these wok stir-fried dishes with these crispy, zesty textures and flavors, and it's stuff that you can only get here at Patois.
Oh, my mouth is watering. The macaroni pie, oh my goodness, the fried chicken. I come here way too much.
And the rum punch.
I would love a tour of the space. Can you give us a little one too?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Can you explain this wall for me?
Yes, so this is a hummingbird, which is the national bird of Jamaica. Also the hibiscus, or also known as sorrel. So national flower of Jamaica as well too. So it brings me back to my childhood. And if it brings me back, then I'm sure it'll connect with other people as well too.
There's a really beautiful industrial look to this space. Can you explain the bar?
Yeah, I love this bar. We had it designed specifically for us, and it was really inspired by those old school commuter trains and the curves, all these little touches of the brass. We wanted to have that convivial familiarity that people had while still being a little bit classy, but also bringing in more of that island feel. So we have that like pale blue reminding us of the water, reminding us of this island. And then we even have like these little floaties like up here, swim rings.
Yeah,
and like we had this space that I felt like it just needed a little bit of love. It needed a little bit of that space. Like this should feel like a Jamaican beach shack every single night, party every day of the week. We love food, we love drinks, but we love taking care of people at the same time. This table is a really fun one. I wanted to have one family table right in the middle of the restaurant, but I'm not gonna have like a lazy Susan like everybody else does. I'm gonna be like skateboard trucks mounted to the tabletop, and it spins around, and it's something that everybody can really like feel at home with as well too. All right, Mariah, so welcome to our kitchen. This is where we make all of our patties.
Oh yeah, this is where the magic happens.
Yeah, and this is our dough sheeter. So we actually laminate all of our dough, so it's more reminiscent of like a fine French croissant. And you can actually see all the different layers that are going on the inside. And then when we bake it, it puffs up with all those different layers as well too.
Wow.
You wanna roll one with me?
Absolutely.
Beauty. So we start off with one of these in the center. And this is smoked brisket with oxtail gravy. So we smoke whole briskets and then we braise it in oxtail gravy. We dice it. We mix that and fold it to make a sauce. And then we make our dough. It's a 3-day process of love.
Wow.
Yeah. So I take this brush, I paint just a little bit of water on here as well. So just a little bit of flour and water. We're gonna bring up these corners. And then we're gonna let them meet right here in the middle. And you see how they kind of fold? That's how we get them to behave.
It's like a Christmas present.
Exactly. And what I love about this shape is that it's all about these crispy edges that bake up and poof really nicely. And they're crispy and they're filled with meat because we have this pyramid type shape. And these are reminiscent of the patties that my father and my grandfather grew up eating in Jamaica. And that's our patty. Indistinguishable or what?
What is the next step?
Next, we bake them.
Yes, let's do it.
Now into the oven.
Gorgeous.
So here in Jun Plum, we feature all of our favorite artisans and all the products that we really believe in, So whether you're looking for top quality like pans or like a little Scotch bonnet plant that you can do for yourself, little baby onesies with like wagwan or something written on there.
That is iconic. And why the name Jun Plum?
So Jun Plum is a tropical fruit. It actually makes one of my favorite juices. It has like that perfect kind of tropical note of like mango, pineapple, sweet, sour, and it just goes along with everything that is like reminds me of the islands. This is our community hub, and like this is about connecting with the community, connecting with different restaurants, people that we respect in the industry, and like this is one of the shirts. Like we got merch from one of the previous collabs that we did with somebody that you're very familiar with.
The collab that everybody needed.
Got lots of love for Sunday's Coffee Club. That's our friend Tony, who owns it, and he's like one of the people who, really started out with us. Really proud of him and his progress.
That is so beautiful. You really are a champion for the community and entrepreneurs here, and I think that's special. You don't see this every day.
We believe in people that want to have a high quality production of something that they really believe in, and Tony and Sundays is exactly that. Hardworking people who are excited, who want to make a difference, and this is the way to do it.
Please tell me, what is the next step for Patois, and what do you hope for the average person who comes in for the first time? What do you want them to feel when they enter this space?
That is the best question, and it's something that we ask ourselves all the time. Like, what is the ideal guest experience when they come into Patois? For me, it starts off, can't miss the rum punch, can't miss the jerk chicken, and one of my wife's favorite meals on the menu is the izakaya shrimp pasta. So there's a lot of different flavors. There's something here for everybody. And whatever you think of when you think of like Jamaican food or Chinese food, abandon those thoughts, because at its core, we're a Toronto-centric restaurant. So like the Jamaican patty is the perfect example of a food that started somewhere else, but it became a Toronto food. And here's our patties.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
That That is so cool.
Pick which one you want.
Well, which one do you think is mine?
I know which ones are yours.
Okay, I'll grab it. Fine.
From across the room, I can tell.
Cheers. Thank you, Craig, so much for having us.
Thank you for coming to join us and make some patties with me.
Oh, I'll be back again, and again. And if you guys want to come by, make sure you go to Patois or Jun Plum, located at 794 Dundas Street West. I promise you won't regret it.
Dundas and Bathurst.
Yeah.